February 22nd, 9:31 a.m.
Call the February 22nd, 2023 Umatilla County Board of Commissioners meeting to order and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As we get started today, I would like to thank my colleagues for allowing us to start the meeting a half hour late today because it is Ash Wednesday and they did attend church, so thank you guys very much for that consideration. Absolutely. And everybody else in the crowd that clock is a half hour off. I'm not looking at you, Tom, I'm just saying. Awards, recognitions, and correspondence.
I do have something. First, I wanted to give a shout out to Tom Fellows. I went to AOC, and I've done this since I've gotten back from County College last week. Tom gave a presentation at AOC, did a wonderful job, and talked about transportation, had a lot of good information, and for somebody who doesn't know a whole lot about roads and bridges and all that kind of stuff, Tom did a great job. So just a shout out to Tom.
Well deserved.
Brandy Smith. Is Brandy not here?
She's not here.
Oh, okay.
So then you just read it
Go
off.
ahead and read it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brandy Smith is being recognized today. She's in public health. And I'm going to read what was written about her. Byron and I would like to recognize Brandy Smith for the Challenge Coin Award. Brandy has stepped up to the plate when it was most needed. These last few months were a challenge for us with the front office staffing, training of new employees for both clinic and environmental health, and bringing on more nursing staff, which has opened our clinic schedule for both Pendleton and Hermiston. We spent some time when Brandy was the only front office coverage for our office when it was clinic days. She showed her ability to take on the extra workload from being able to perform her own job duties as environmental health administrator and also be the front desk for our office for everyday calls and clients that walk in the door, as well as checking in and out our clients for clinic appointments. Her ability to multitask, stay focused, and perform her job with many other obstacles that were thrown her way in a day or week have been above and beyond what we could have expected from her. Brandy is always willing to do what is asked of her to get the job done, whether that be traveling to the Hermiston location when planned, and those moments when it's a last-minute change as she is needed there to cover for birth death certificates. Brandy has the attitude to do whatever it takes to complete her task assigned or asked of, and is much appreciated by myself and her team. Brandy has demonstrated excellent work over these last few months training 2 new employees. Her contribution has not gone unnoticed. Brandy was tasked with helping the new employee get up to speed with their job responsibilities in environmental health. This list is not at all inclusive, but some of the duties required: processing payments, sending out invoices, receiving phone calls, and providing information, whether it be a septic record request or requesting 2 questions, and entering information into 2 different databases. Brandy has succeeded by going above and beyond her daily role. This required completing her own daily assignments while providing assistance and instruction for new employees. This ability takes a clear understanding of your role and patience to be able to provide guidance to someone else. Because of her outstanding dedication and hard work, we would like to recognize Brandy for this award. We want to thank her for being part of a great team and to keep up doing what she does. And Brandy has already received her Challenge Coin Award. But congratulations to Brandy.
Congratulations, Brandy, and thanks Commissioner Timmons for bringing that to our attention. Before we go any further, I do want to remind everybody that this is a public forum with a call-in option. There is time on the agenda to provide input for hearings to provide comments. The meeting is being video and audio recorded and minutes will be taken. Also, meetings are now live streaming. Comments will become part of the meeting record. If persons wish to speak before the board, please identify yourself and state where you live in order to be heard on the record. Also note if you are speaking on behalf of others, just to read that into records. Approval of minutes of previous meetings, February 1, 2023 and February 8, 2023.
I move to approve the minutes, February 1st and February 8th,
Second.
2023.
Been a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Any additions to the agenda? Public input and recognition of visitors. First item on our agenda starts with the sheriff's office. Purchase of laptop computers.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Josh Roberts, Criminal Division Lieutenant at the Sheriff's Office. So first item I have for you is a request to purchase laptop computers. What's specific about these computers is we use these as mobile data terminals in our patrol cars. The deputies are able to access key information, person's records, make wants and driver's license checks with these. And so because this is a specific vehicle-related item, the request is to have this taken out of our vehicle outfitting line item. We worked with IT and identified that the Lenovo ThinkPad T14 computers from Price Computers in Milton Freewater is the best option. And so we're requesting to purchase 5 of these for a total cost of $6,250. And that is what we would like you to approve, and if there's any questions.
Thanks, Josh. Any comments or questions?
None from me.
Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Thanks. The next one's also yours.
Yes. So this is also for the purchase of a laptop computer, but again, this is a specialized mobile data terminal. This one is for our Marine and ATV deputy. He works in areas and conditions that are pretty inhospitable to computers. Specifically out on the boat where you get water spray, they can get wet. Out in the ATV trails, dust and heat. And so we're looking to get him a ruggedized laptop that can withstand the elements a lot better than the regular MDTs that you just approved. And so again, IT helped us identify the Toughbook 40 ruggedized laptop as being the best choice. Again, this will be purchased from Price Computers in Milton Freewater. The cost for this one is $5,394. And because this is a Marine program specific item, we're asking for it to be taken out of the Marine expense line item.
Questions, comments?
I have a question. Is it smaller than a regular?
It's smaller in terms of screen size, but in terms of actual bulk, it's much heavier and thicker. Just because it's ruggedized, they encase it to make it withstand being dropped, being submerged in water. It's just a lot more protected.
Other questions, comments? Entertain a motion to approve the purchase of one Toughbook 40.
I move.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Next one is the sheriff. Don't go anywhere, Josh.
Yep. I think this is my last one today.
Okay.
So County Vehicle 357, which is a 2019 Ford Police Interceptor SUV, was struck while a fleeing felon in a stolen vehicle was fleeing the area. It struck our patrol vehicle and caused significant damage. This vehicle only has 77,000 miles on it, and we still need it in our fleet, and so we would like to have it repaired. The request before you says that we're not sure yet whether or not insurance will cover it. After I submitted this request, I received notice that they are in fact sending a check, so we are getting reimbursement back for this. But we do need to authorize the expenditure for the repair to Hermes and Auto Body. They have estimated it to be $6,555.71, and so that's our request today.
I just want to be clear for the record. When you say the insurance is covering the cost, that's not our insurance, correct? It's the insurance of the...
The insurance of the owner of the stolen vehicle, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Mr. Chair, I'd move to authorize repairs and payment to Hermiston Auto Body for vehicle 357 for an estimated cost of $6,555.71.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
Thank you, Commissioners.
SLP.
Jail purchase, this is for mattresses.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
Kenny Frank, Jail Commander. I'm asking for $5,451 to replace mattresses. Since COVID started, our population has been lower, so we hadn't been purchasing mattresses because we had plenty to go through. And as they started wearing out, and we started getting rid of them. We're nearing the end of construction, so we're trying to prepare. This would get us 35 more mattresses, which would get me up to about 185 mattresses for the facility. We will, in the future, need more as we go forward. Normally, when we buy mattresses, it's like 5 or 10 a year. The reason for the larger numbers because we hadn't purchased since before COVID because we didn't have a need.
And will this also, once the remodel is complete, will these also help facilitate that?
Yes. So right now, we're only running at about 125, I think this morning was the population. So this would get us up to a population of about 185. As we move forward, obviously, we'll need more, but we don't know how long that's going to take, so. And that all depends on construction too, so.
Other questions?
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Sheriff's medical contract.
As we've been looking into medical and talking with our insurance company, they highly recommend us moving forward to a 24-hour medical coverage. Right now, our nurses come in about 6 in the morning and they're there till about 6 at night. So there's quite a few hours in the evenings where we don't have any nurses or medical staff on. So we rely on our corrections staff to make decisions like on intakes on somebody that could be overdosing or not, whether to send them to the hospital before they're intaked into the facility or not. What this contract would do is expand that time to where they're there 24/7, so we always have a medical professional on hand to be able to have them look at our intakes. Anybody that we send out after hours, the way it works right now is if we have an issue after hours, there's a nurse on call, but they're not paid to respond to the jail. So basically, we have a corrections officer taking vitals and relaying that over the phone, and it almost always turns into they need to take them to the hospital because they're not there looking at them and evaluating them themselves. And this would hopefully eliminate a lot of that happening because they'd be there to evaluate them right when it happened. It also would help with our intake. So right now, as people come in, our booking area, which we had expanded because it was too small, gets backed up with people who need to be cleared by medical before they can move to general population. Right now, they clear them first thing in the morning when they get there, and then they run their clinics and do med pass throughout the rest of the day, and nobody's cleared again until the next day. If we had nurses there 24/7, they'd be able to clear people several times throughout the day for general population.
Questions? Entertain a motion?
I move.
Is that for approval or?
Yeah. I move to respectfully request the approval for 24-hour model nursing care starting July 1st, 2023.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's the sheriff office day.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning, Cap.
Paul Wolverton, Captain of the Criminal Division of the Sheriff's Office. What you have before you this morning is a less lethal munitions request. This will be a recurring request annually as we continue to evolve and expand our less lethal program. And what that is our 40 millimeter launchers and the various types of munitions that we use in those, including CS gas, pepper, grenades, and things of that nature. Our use of these helps us to more effectively respond to acts of violence. It gives us equipment and different tactics that allow us to more effectively control those things. This was most recently shown to be a superior tactic with our jail riot, which Commissioner Doran was able to review with me and the sheriff. And so this is part of that program that we've been implementing to restock some supplies. And for that, we're asking for $5,789.55 to make this most recent order. That will be split by the criminal division and the corrections division, and we'd pay for this out of our weapons and ammo line item.
Questions?
I move approval.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded for the purchase of munitions, less lethal munitions. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is a fencing contract. Mark.
Morning, Commissioners. Mark Tanner, Facilities Manager, Umatilla County. Before you is the fencing, proposed fencing costs for the new Community Corrections Facility in Hermiston for $22,817.01. And this will be paid for by corrections.
So it'll be reimbursed, not have it.
Yeah,
refunded.
reimbursed, yeah.
Silly question, but I gotta ask it. I see the date on the invoice is 1/28. Is that still gonna be a valid quote?
Yeah, this,
Because I mean, they go fast.
he resent it, yeah. They adjusted it, he just didn't adjust any of the dates.
Okay, so is the price still the same?
Is this for the black,
Yes.
black fence?
Yep.
And then where's Columbia Basin fence out of?
Here in Pendleton.
Okay.
Yeah. The fencing company from Hermiston, I've yet to get them to, gave me a bid originally, but when it went out to bid, he hasn't responded, so.
Other questions?
I have a question. Mark, is this fencing, is there any type of privacy with this? Or is it?
No. They did not want slats. Corrections didn't.
Other questions,
I don't have
comments?
any other questions.
Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
I'll second.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay,
Oh, God, he's not going away.
not going away. So this is same thing for the new community corrections facility. This is for all of the HVAC equipment and ducting and miscellaneous items that have been done up to date for $24,455.
Mr. Chair, I move approval.
Second.
Been a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mark.
Not even at the bottom. Look at that.
I know.
Transit
I
vehicle.
went before Tom, that's all that mattered.
Morning, Commissioners. Megan Dokcheski from Community Development. CAPCO operated a transportation program under the county's statewide transportation fund, and they closed that program effective December of 2022. They did have one vehicle that was purchased with the county's transit dollars, and so the county is listed on the title. And in order for us to move forward with disposing of that vehicle, the transit coordinator needs to request the title to be released from ODOT. And then I'm asking the commissioners to also decide what they would like to do with the vehicle. It's a 2010 Dodge Caravan. It does have a rear wheelchair ramp, but it's pretty high in mileage, and CAPCO says it doesn't run. They don't know exactly why it doesn't run, so I'm not sure what the commissioners would like to do with it. There's a couple of options. All of them follow ODOT's disposal process. It could be salvaged, privately sold, sold in a transit vehicle auction, or transferred to another transit agency within Oregon.
I thought that I heard that Tom Fellows was looking for it.
Or Tom. Let's get hit right there.
Do you guys have a recommendation of what to do with the van?
Our region coordinator at ODOT thought that because of the condition, our transit agencies probably weren't interested in it. we could list it on the auction site. I don't know if it would sell or not, and it doesn't run right now. So Capco's looking for us to remove it from their property, and it would probably have to get towed and put it at the vehicle
Does
lot.
the wheelchair ramp, and I don't know the answer to this, does it have any value to any of the other vehicles that we have in the fleets?
You know, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if those are transferable or not. I think this one was built with the ramp. I don't think it was
Oh,
added
okay,
on
so it's
here.
integrated into the
Mhm.
frame. Gotcha.
There's a real need for this. And, you know, I hate to see it salvaged just because there's people that are looking for those.
Darren Ohnberger might be a good resource.
Yeah, he might be somebody to reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like.
He's on the Transit Authority Committee. So there's
Yeah.
some-
I'd like to have us reach out to Clearview and see if they have a need for it. But with that, Mr. Chair, I'd authorize the transit coordinator to request the title to be released from ODOT for the 2010 Dodge Caravan.
Second.
Been a motion, has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good luck, Megan.
Thank you. I'll probably come back to you with the next action item.
Okay.
And then the next one's mine too.
Yep.
So our Transportation Advisory Committee has a set of bylaws, and those bylaws need to be amended to include the definition of high percentage of low-income households. This is a requirement from ODOT. And at the July 21st, 2022 meeting, the UTAC adopted this definition of high percentage of low-income households. Any geographic area within Umatilla County that exceeds the percentage of low-income households for the state of Oregon as a whole. And that definition was also in our previous STIF committee's bylaws. I'm just asking for it to be added to our current UTAC bylaws.
So the two definitions are the same now in both programs.
So the STIF committee was dissolved last year. Now it's just the UTAC committee.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm. So we would just be adding it to this committee's bylaws.
Gotcha.
So do we need two separate motions on this?
Yes.
With that, Mr. Chair, I'd move approval and adoption of the definition of high percentage of low-income households as recommended by the UCTAC.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Okay, I move to amend the UTAC bylaws to include this definition.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank
Megan.
you.
Public Works. Be nice to me now.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Fellows, Umatilla County Public Works Director. So before you today is a request from Public Works to purchase a vehicle from reuse down at Surplus Properties. This would be a 2011 Dodge Ram 5500 cab and chassis for $17,500. We'll be replacing a cab and chassis that we currently use, which is a 2002. It's a 1 ton, rather this is a 5500. So this one is a much heavier duty, has a lot less miles on it, and currently we utilize the 2002 as for our sign crew uses it when they're doing their pavement markings in the summertime. We use it for a lot of our chip seal operations. It gets periodic use throughout the year, so and it's just an opportunity to update a vehicle that doesn't get used every day, but certainly has enough use to make it worth having.
Questions or comments?
I just want to say kudos to you for finding such a great deal on the site. So I know you worked pretty hard at that, and well done. With that, Mr. Chair, I'd authorize purchase and payment of a used 2011 Dodge Ram cab and chassis in the amount of $17,500.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Utility relocation.
So I'm going to allow Mr. Olson to do the heavy lifting on this, but primarily this involves some utility poles in Canal Road that we have requested PP&L to move from the dead center of the right-of-way over to the east side, and they have been less than obligating.
Any questions or comments?
I know I have asked this previously, but we don't run into this very often.
I'm sorry, didn't.
We don't run into this very often.
No, this is something that we don't run into a lot. And it is by statute, we have to allow utilities to utilize the right-of-way, but also in statute, utilities have to move their fixtures within the right-of-way at request. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
So you reached out to them and they haven't responded?
No, actually, we reached out to them and their comment was, well, you have your attorney, contact our attorney. So that was it in a nutshell.
Yeah, multiple reach outs.
Okay.
And I don't want this to get to the point where everybody thinks all the utilities work this way, because it doesn't work this way with all utilities. Entertain a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move adoption of order RD 2023-01.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Next is a right-of-way acquisition.
So I'm sure you're all aware of Thorn Hollow Bridge and what's happened up there since the flood. So currently, the funding for the bridge construction is, we've got those agreements. Part of that is ODOT is spearheading some right-of-way acquisition. They actually offered to do that for us. They do that all the time. And as such, they've requested this order from the Board of Commissioners. And again, I'm sure Doug can answer any of the legal questions on it.
Questions or comments?
The only thing I have is where it's eminent domain, is there contention in this, or is it just a formality?
I don't know the specifics, unfortunately.
I don't know that there's anything in contention on it, Commissioner. This is simply what ODOT requests up front as part of their process to move it forward. So I can't 100% answer that, but
Fair enough.
This doesn't, just to be clear, this doesn't mean we're going into eminent domain today. It means that we have the authority, that ODOT has the authority from the county.
That is correct.
Proceed. Okay. So they're in the middle of negotiations now. Any other questions or comments?
I move to adopt order number RD 2023-02.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
thank you, Commissioners. The groundhog seems to have gotten it right
Yeah.
this year.
I'm headed to Salem. You want me to pick your new truck up?
Sure.
Answer's no. The next item is the zone sponsors for the enterprise zones in the cities of Hermiston and Umatilla have been requested to amend the 5 most recent agreements for a long-term enterprise zone abatement.
And basically, there are 2 requested changes from the developer. One is to revise the agreement so that they are using a different statute for the abatement process. And the result is that they do not have to put as much in as investment into the project, but they do have to increase the number of employees in it to be eligible for the program. And then also, they had agreed to be part of a bond contribution. The property is normally exempt from bond contributions, but they agreed to be part of it. But they did want to clarify that if there's non-owned improvements on the property, that would not be included in the computation for the bond contribution. because there will be like third-party,
Substations.
substation is one possibility. And so this would be applicable to all 5 of the most recent agreements and the amendment for the long-term enterprise.
Any other sponsors have already taken action?
The city of Hermiston has already approved it. I do not know yet if the city of Umatilla has approved theirs.
I got one question that I should have thought of before, because to me it's kind of a brainer. So the substation would still be, it wouldn't be abated. It would fall under the owner.
It would be taxed as it normally would be.
From the owner. Gotcha,
Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Other questions or comments?
I approve the amendment to long-term rural enterprise zone tax abatement agreement.
Second.
Been a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Motion passes. Fair position.
This is coming before the board to extend a temporary employee position at the fair. The request is to allow this position, temporary position, until it can be filled by a permanent employee, not to exceed March 31st of 2023.
Questions, comments?
The employee that is being replaced here isn't coming back.
Do not know that for sure,
She
but it would
national
be, it'd be long,
Yeah. So you haven't heard anything?
but it will be
It would be 3 years.
up to 3 years.
Oh,
And I think we've already gone out. We've gone out for the advertising.
Not yet, I don't believe so.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'd move approval of the extension of temporary employee until position is filled by permanent employee. Extension not to exceed March 31 of 2023.
Second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, Tom. RFP for a trailer purchase from a grant received.
Morning, Commissioners. Tom Roberts, Emergency Manager for Umatilla County. And what we're here to ask for today is authorization to go out and request for manufacturers to provide us with bids and quotes on a replacement for a 20-foot enclosed trailer that we've used quite extensively through COVID and through a lot of our emergency responses. We do have grant dollars in the amount of $10,500 to pay for this unit, and so our immediate request would be to submit for the RFP, not to exceed that amount in dollars. The amount that we requested came from conversations with one of the local folks that sells trailers, but this was before inflation, so we'll see how this goes. We may have to make a few tweaks to what we get, but that's what we have to work with.
Questions or comments?
No, we've bought several of these trailers for our business, and that's right in the ballpark. But like you said, it's probably been a year or so since we bought them,
Right.
so hopefully it won't be too much more.
Hope not.
We just get approval on the grant, is that what happened?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
Mr. Chair, I move approval to initiate the RFP to purchase a replacement incident support trailer.
A second.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Next is a public hearing for the ambulance service area ordinance. So at this time, I'll open the meeting for any public comment. Any opposed? Any proponents? At this time, I'll close the public hearing, and Tom, do you want to give us any information on this?
This is the second time in front of you and final. I have Chief Critchley, who is the chair of the Ambulance Service Area Committee, here to answer any specific questions you might have today. But essentially what we're asking for is approval of the Ambulance Service Area Plan update and to put that in, place that in ordinance. And then that'll give us the authorization to move forward with franchising of the ambulance service areas.
First of all, I'd like to thank Chief Critchley for showing up today. Any questions or comments?
My questions are answered in the first hearing, so Thank
Very good.
Thank you, Chief, for being available. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything, Chief, as far as maybe some comments or?
Hey, you came all
You
this
came all
way.
this way.
All this,
Walk down the hill.
all this way.
We gotta walk up there.
Commissioners, my name is Jim Critchley. I'm the Pendleton Fire Chief and the ASA Chair. Everybody on the ASA was pretty pleased with the changes that were being made, and we look forward to continuing the work for the community. And we're pleased with that. I don't have any other statements. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions, comments?
We should end, but I
Thank
think
you.
All right.
Thank you.
Entertain a motion.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2023-01.
second.
Been a motion and a second, and all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you. Next item is the wolf depredation approval.
This is coming before the board to approve payables for wolf deterrence, non-lethal deterrence. The Wolf Depredation Advisory Committee met and reviewed the applications and recommended 3 producers receive some reimbursement for the incurred expenses they had for non-lethal wolf deterrence.
Being a member of that committee, I'd like to thank the other members that are on that committee. I don't need to go through it. It's a tough committee. It's one that has robust discussion for sure. And the results, I have all the confidence in the world, couldn't be any better than they were. I wish they could. But the producers that did submitted very accurate, complete information. We are looking to trying to simplify the forms and some of the applications because it's awful complicated for somebody that work 24 hours a day out in the field and still fill out these forms. So anyway, that's my 2 cents worth on this. I really appreciate the people that take the time on that committee.
Mr. Chair, would you be willing to make the motion?
In fact, I would be honored. I would move to authorize the payments submitted by the Wolf Depredation Committee for payment.
Second. And the only, I'd like to make a comment if I could. Council made the comment, it's some reimbursement. Unfortunately, it's not all. Being from a cow family, I wish we could fully reimburse, but I'm rooting for Representative Levy. So
Yeah.
she's got a bill going forward, so I'm in her corner.
Yeah, there's a couple of them working their way through that are really, could help a lot.
Well,
I need a second, Bill.
I seconded it.
Oh, right.
I wanted to make a comment. At AOC or County College last week, they're really working on this on the state level. And we actually had a speaker come in and speak. And unfortunately, she got attacked from all sides. And so, it's a hot topic right now, big time. So I'm with you, Dan. I applaud the people that sit on this committee.
Really good job. Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, guys. Motion passes. Next is fair parking payment.
This is coming before the board to approve a payment. This is for parking for the 2022 fair. This would be payable to the event center owner, Eastern Oregon Trade and Event Center, for the amount of $13,691.
Questions or comments?
No, I move approval, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Been a motion and a second for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion approved. Motion passes. Next item is a public hearing, Department Organization Amendment. At this point, I'll open the meeting for any public comment. All those opposed to this amendment? All those in favor? At this time, I'll close the public hearing and Any questions or comments?
And for me, it's well vetted, so.
Entertain a motion.
I move to adopt ordinance number 2023-01.
I have a question on that. I was just looking, but doesn't 2023-01 isn't it the same number we did for the
Yeah,
ASA
we just
update?
did that.
Can you go to the next page, please?
Yeah,
This
the
one?
ambulance service area.
No, where you were. Yeah, I'm sorry, I messed up on that. Go to Dan, scroll down, please. Okay, so it's the other one. This is truly, that is the correct number for this one.
For this one, do we
This
need to
one.
go back and redo this?
The minutes will be reflected as 02.
Okay, that's all we need, just the
Yeah.
minutes.
I
Perfect.
was like, wait a
Good
minute.
catch, John.
So
Okay.
on that, I will second that motion.
Been a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next is the Red Cross proclamation. It's a
This is-
proclamation.
Yeah, it's a proclamation that has been done for the last couple of years. It is a request to declare March 2023 Red Cross Month in recognition of the Red Cross, American Red Cross.
Questions or comments?
I've moved to adopt order BCC 2023-009.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Next is a purchase action for the Central Pipeline Project.
This is coming before the board for approval for the next two phases for the Central Pipeline Project, also known as the Ordnance Project. You previously approved the project. Phase 1 is moving along to the point now that phases 2 and 3 are possible. And so what's before the board is to approve the phases 2 and 3 of the project. Phase 2 is the extension of the pipeline from phase 1 to the entrance to the depot. And then phase 3 is the recharge basin on the depot. And
How many motions do we need on
Yes.
this?
you can just authorize it one.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, you're approving the project
Okay,
and all of the associated.
Just the work, okay, as the
Yeah.
project.
okay. With that, Mr. Chair, I would authorize the project as outlined by council.
Second.
Been a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 I was afraid there would be multiple motions on that bad boy.
I was too. The next item on the agenda is the Compensation Review Committee appointments.
Yeah, this is to authorize the appointments for the Compensation Review Committee. This is annually done. There are one new member and 2 returning members that serve on this committee. The appointment is beginning February 1 of 2023.
And just to be clear, the 3 members are Chris Bentoncourt, Steve Eldridge, and Pat Hagan. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Questions or comments?
I move to adopt order number BCC 2023-007.
Second.
Been a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is passes. Next item is opioid litigation.
Previously, the county agreed to become a member of the settlement for the opioid litigation that's done on a national basis. Those settlements are made through the national defendants as well as the state of Oregon and some counties in Oregon. This settlement is for 5 additional defendants. They're named in the documents. This would allow the county to receive a portion of the settlements similar to what has already been received for the other settling defendants in the first 2 payments that the county receives.
Any questions or comments?
None for me.
Entertain a motion?
I move to participate in additional settlements and authorize signature of settlement documents.
Second.
Been a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item number 25
Did you have it?
is a proposal to authorize Umatilla County to become a member of the Community Renewable Energy Association and payment of $250 dues. Do we need to name me as the member? We don't need to do that?
No, it's the county that's a member.
Okay. This is a group called CREA. They represent counties, originally represented counties, and now also represent developers and energy users and producers. Not that we will always agree with this, what this group endorses, but I think it's important that we be at the table. So,
And $250 a year are the dues.
yep, still a year.
Okay, with that, Mr. Chair, I'd authorize Umatilla County to become a member of Community Renewable Energy Association in the payment of $250 dues.
Second.
Been a motion to approve and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I would like to thank everybody for helping me get down the road fairly quickly today. Questions, comments? Okay. At this time, I'd like to adjourn the meeting.